Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Candice Matthews, your national-renowned human civil rights activist and advocate. We are here to expose the dirty deeds that's been going on in the Harris County court system. So we're calling this Harris County Courthouse Secrets, Civil Right Violations, right in plain sight. We have a guest that's going to be anonymous for this segment in regards to her being doxxed and then also with death threats. But she is brave enough to give her story in regards to what has happened to her in the Harris County courts. So just kind of give us a brief summary of why you're here today.
So I'm here to expose Carl Moore and Judge Denise Collins, as well as the prosecutor, on a case that I am going through in Harris County.
Okay, so tell us how your civil rights were violated by Attorney Carl Moore and this judge.
Absolutely. So the Fifth and Sixth Amendments of the Constitution clearly state that I have a right to have adequate counsel. I have been trying to terminate Carl Moore since the end of December, and every time we go in front of the judge, Denise Collins, she refuses. They go to the back, they have a conversation, and they try to coerce me into pleading, and I just refuse. And they get mad and summons me again to court, sometimes weeks at a time.
Wow. So tell everyone, why are you going to court? Why?
So I'm going to court because I was accused of basically theft, aggregate theft. And I hired Carl to be my defense attorney.
Okay, so then we see documents in regards to dismissal complaint and a bond issue. So kind of bring us around, like, what is going on with that document?
Okay, so the case was dismissed. The case has been going on since March 2024. The case was dismissed in July 9th, 2025. But it was re-indicted the 7th, July 7th, 2025. I don't understand how that is.
Interesting. And so I noticed that, you stated about Judge Collins, right? So we did some research on this judge, and this is Judge Collins, guys. This is her right here. Okay. And so the research that we've done with her is that she actually has a SCJC complaint, well, several complaints, and that deals with the Texas Commission on Judicial Conduct. So it says the Texas Commission on Judicial Conduct found Denise guilty of the following misconduct. So failed to comply with the law, bail bond practices, failed to maintain competence in the law, which is an idiot, pretty much, violated hearing officers' authority under Texas law, instructions on bail bond counted as willful and persistent conduct, which wasn't consistent with Denise's duties as a judge, conduct cast public discredit on the judiciary, failed to give defendants time to consult with lawyers regarding bail, failed to grant bail within 24 hours of an arrest when followed by the law. And it also says, as a direct consequence of her misconduct, the enablers for judicial misfits sitting on the Texas Supreme Court punished Denise by gifting her with a complimentary public reprimand. And it also says, as we speak, from October 2019, Denise is employed as a visiting judge in the greater Houston area. So why would you want to even bring this woman back as a visiting judge? Also, we did another deep dive with this judge, and that there's an article from 2014 of October. And it says that attorney says Judge Denise Collins unlawfully detained her It says a Houston criminal defense lawyer says she's filed a complaint with the State Commission on Judicial Conduct alleging that Judge Denise Collins unlawfully detained her as she tried to speak with her client. So, this is not something that's new to this judge, I see. And then the next thing that I'm looking at, because I just find it interesting how this person's civil rights is being violated, because we got some lawlessness that's going on in these Harris County courthouses. And so then this here is Attorney Carl Moore. I know some of y'all may have seen him with Slim Thug and seen him with a lot of these celebrities and things like that. Well, I don't give a damn who you with. What I want to know is when someone pays you, you need to do your job. And so we did a little research on him. He didn't have any bar complaints. However, he didn't have a good rating. He got a 1-star rating right here. And that 1-star rating, it talks about why he don't respond to his clients. They said responsiveness, negative, quality, negative, professionalism, negative. Let's keep going. Then there is another 1-star. Why don't he respond? Everything is here. Then another client said, way too expensive and did nothing to help my son. And he got a 1-star rating. So this is not something that's by incident. This is what we call pattern and practice with these type of people that's doing this to the citizens of Harris County. And then another thing that we notice, hold on, let me pull this up, y'all, because y'all know we're going to do a deep dive into this. So what did your lawyer do? And did you take a plea? And if you did or did not, tell us why. Kind of circle us back with this.
So he did nothing, and he did nothing but try to coerce me into pleading along with the judge, the prosecutor, and him. I would tell him, no, I'm not pleading. He would go back to the back of the court with the prosecutor, and the Judge Collins would vacate the bench and go back with him, and they would come up with this grand scheme to call me right back in front of her. And she talks to me and she's like, oh, well, I think he's a great lawyer. I'm like, Judge, that is your opinion. And I've known him for a long time. You can't tell me that. That is bias. You can't tell me that.
Interesting for her to tell you something like that. See, this is where the judicial misconduct and all of this foolishness that's going on right in our faces, right in plain sight. So what we have here, guys, as an end result of the civil rights violations, there has been a federal lawsuit filed by this citizen on Attorney Carl Moore and also on that judge. So kind of give us like a briefing as to why, because from what I'm looking at this was just recently filed. So just kind of tell us what's going on with this, please.
So it was recently filed last Friday, and they were all served on last Friday as well. And the main things are, she cannot deny my right to adequate counsel. Carl put in his motion to withdraw as my counsel finally in January, and she still denies it. He has not filed a motion in my case, therefore not providing any defense since August 2024. August 2024. I want that to sink in. He has done nothing for my case except try to get me to plead. When I asked him, what defense you have, he asked me, what defense do I have?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. And so even in his motion, he cited that he cannot effectively represent me. So if a lawyer says that they cannot effectively represent me, and I says, hey, I terminated him like 5 or 6 times, but he keep harassing me, but then the judge still wants me to keep him, that is a direct violation of the 5th and 6th Amendment rights. Along with him and the judge talking, meeting without me present, trying to come up with a plan to get me to plead, trying to scare me, but I'm not easily scared. So that is what that civil rights lawsuit is about, is violating due process. Judge Collins said in open court that she will not hear my motions to fire him. She will not hear any motions that I've put in because obviously he hadn't put in any motions on my case, so I did. I've been asking him for discovery. The first time I ever seen anything related to discovery was January 2026 this year. This case has been going on since 2024. He has repeatedly told me, oh, it's so much discovery. We'll be all day, but I finally got to see some of it. And then when I did see it, his own office mate is a witness against me, which is why he never wanted me to see the discovery. If that's not a violation, I don't know what is.
It is corruption if you ever want to see it. So, the question that I want to leave with you all today is this. Who protects the people when the courts don't? This is what we're seeing. And we're going to continue to shine the light on this. We're going to continue to expose. And I really thank this citizen for coming and exposing and shedding a light to this, because you know what the next steps is going to be? It's going to be a bar complaint that's coming down the pipe. And it's also going to be a SCJC complaint on this judge as well. So until then, everybody, it is what it is. It was what it was. Because guess what? When you don't protect the people, the hammer does. Bye-bye.